What's up, guys? It's time for the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. So, let's get into it. I will be reacting for the first time since I've started this channel to the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, to the speeches, to the activities. So, we're going to see how this goes. And this is my first time ever doing this. I've always reacted to shows, stuff like that. I've never reacted to the actual Hall of Fame itself. So, we'll do it. Let's see. There's so much to cover in that one. Wow. First up was the Dudley Boyz. Got inducted. A lot of jokes. They were inducted by Craig. Oh my gosh. Edge and Christian. And Edge and Christian told some funny jokes. Had everybody laughing. The Dudleys came up and they were hilarious. I mean, Devon actually had a sense of humor. And Bubba Ray pointed that out, by the way. But Devon was telling some jokes, got everybody laughing. Then they would tell some funny stories. One of my favorite story that they told had to be about Mae Young. How when they put her through the table and then she came up and said, "Hey, treat me like one of the guys," and yeah, that was hilarious. And then they brought up Craig. I don't know why I keep saying that. Edge and Christian and the Hardys, the legendary TLC matches, and then they said, "Let's have one more at WrestleMania," and both of them walked off. Both parties walked off as quick as possible. Then the producer comes out and says, "Sorry guys, you're out of time," or one of the backstage producers or whatever. You know how that goes. And then they go one more time, get the tables, and they put him through the table, and then did the testifying. Beautiful from start to finish. That was an awesome speech. And hearing the EC Dub chants were awesome. So congratulations, Dudley Boyz. If I could talk straight today, Dudley Boyz, congratulations. You guys deserve it. I remember watching Dudley Boyz from when I was little. These guys are awesome. Dudley Boyz. Or let's just chant it. EC Dub. EC. Oh, and the elephant joke about Tommy Dreamer had me rolling. Bubba Ray was funny too. So that's the Dudley Boyz. Congratulations. Okay, and that was Hillbilly Jim going into the Hall of Fame, and wow. I mean, Jimmy Hart comes out and talks about Hillbilly Jim, and he holds up the action figure, right? And that brought back so many childhood memories because that was actually my first ever wrestling action figure. Yeah, I had that one, the plastic one with his arm up like this, and the arms didn't even move like the action figures do today. And I love that action figure, probably the best one out of all the ones I've ever owned. And it was so awesome. So that brought back some childhood memories. Congratulations to Hillbilly Jim. He told some stories about how he got started in this and about opportunities. And the good old JR brought that up a few years back. And he used that and talked about opportunities and how he had opportunities through this business. One of the funny stories he told was about him and Andre the Giant on the plane. That was hilarious. Told some funny stories, some emotional stories. I think the key to it was when he was remembering other wrestlers who have gone home, who have left this world, who have passed away. I thought that was a very special moment. Because there have been so many, and I constantly think of them too. So that was a pretty good speech. I liked it, and it was nice to see him go into the Hall of Fame finally. So yeah, that was Hillbilly Jim. Man, loved the overhauls. Loved the action figure. Loved everything about Hillbilly Jim. Let's move on to the next. And that was Ivory. Oh my goodness, that was actually a really good speech. She was inducted by Molly Holly, which was awesome. I love seeing Molly Holly back up there, and that was pretty cool. But I love how she, like the other ones, they don't forget about where they came from. They don't forget about who got them there, the superstars that helped pave the ways with them, and that was pretty awesome. But I love the fact that she took the whole thing and did like almost like a wedding to the fans, because she's going to the Hall of Fame because of her Hall of Fame ring, and how she's marrying the fans today and all this. And I really love the analogy she used for all that. That was pretty cool. But there were several cool things involved in that whole speech. But I think one of the best was when she talked about right to censor. and what she did was Right to Censor. And you know, Right to Censor during their time, yeah, they were annoying, they were irritating, but they were cool. They were fun to watch. They were, you know, it was just a thing that you expected to see on Monday nights when you turn on your TV, and you expect to see her and Right to Censor. So that was pretty cool. So pretty cool. Congratulations, Ivory. You belong in the Hall of Fame, and one of the women that paved the way for sure. Hats off to you. Salute to you. Salute to the other ones. Let's go on to the next one. Well, that was Kid Rock, and Triple H inducted him into the Hall of Fame, which was kind of cool. Triple H talked about how music takes us back to a place where our childhood memories, stuff like that, and it does. And you know, I remember a lot of the songs they talked about. You know, especially during the Attitude Era, he was huge on the circuit with the WWE and the Attitude Era, doing a lot of songs for the wrestlers, a lot of things that he did then. Singing, performing at more concerts than anyone, I think. So, I mean, he deserves to go in, no doubt about it, as in the celebrity ring. Congratulations, Kid Rock. He talked about his partner in crime, pretty much. And that was probably the most emotional part of the whole time. And he was talking about how he would get mad, and he had all these wrestling DVDs and stuff he had to get to. But it was pretty good. So, Kid Rock, congratulations. Going into the Hall of Fame, the shortest speech yet, and probably gonna be the shortest speech on the night. So, congratulations, Kid Rock. Let's get to the next one. Wow, that was Jeff Jarrett being inducted into the Hall of Fame. That was awesome. I remember watching Jeff Jarrett for a long time. I mean, I watched him in TNA even, and on, you know, way before that. So, they had Road Dogg come out. If you guys don't remember, you guys probably remember Road Dogg. A lot of people tell me when they talk about Road Dogg, they only talk about the Degeneration X stuff, the New Age Outlaws. But Road Dogg was actually Jeff Jarrett's roadie back in the day. So that was kind of neat. He told some stories, which I love. These guys that inducted him, they tell a little bit of stories, a little bit of background, and that's pretty cool. The Jeff Jarrett gets out there, and he's talking about the time with him and Owen being the guy he was. And they did this clown nose thing with Edgy Christian. And with Edgy Christian pounded 1, 2, 3, and they get all the way to 9, and they stop and look back at each other. And they put this clown nose on their nose, and Edgy Christian lost it when they saw it. He's telling the story. And at that point, Edgy Christian come out, and instead of behind him, well, they turned him around and they put the nose on him, and that was pretty cool. But the best part of that whole thing was when Road Dogg came back out after it was all over. He goes, "Thank you guys," and Road Dogg comes out and says, "You're not leaving just yet. We're going to sing our song." They went through the crowd singing with him. It was hilarious watching some of the wrestlers sing. It was nice seeing Jeff Jarrett's family there. It was nice seeing his dad, his kids, his wife, all of that. So it was really neat listening to the story there. And the red nose and the singing at the end was pretty cool. That was funny. It had me rolling. So that was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to you, sir. Wow, that was Jarrett Robinson. He went into the Hall of Fame as the Warrior recipient of this year. If you guys don't know Jarrett Robinson's story and you did not watch the Hall of Fame, you need to check it out. He had a disease where he had to have a liver transplant. The whole works. They tell the story better than I could ever do it. So this kid is full of life. Tells funny jokes. I mean, he even made a joke about John Cena. He has a better chance of getting to WrestleMania before John Cena. It was funny. It was hilarious. Emotional with Dana Warrior giving away the award, and she talked about how there's a homecoming for Warrior and everything, and that was emotional because I remember watching that and that whole week and then getting the news that he passed away, and it was hard for me being a Warrior fan, but I like this award, and he told a lot of jokes, and then ended it the way he could. I mean, he comes out, he's barely able to look over this podium. It's like this. That's all you see, his size. And he goes, "Did no one get the memo?" He said that about 3 times. Finally, they go back there and get some guys to bring out a table or whatever, and got him up on it. So that was pretty cool. So that whole thing was really, congratulations, Jarrett. You deserve it. You are a true example of a true Warrior. Let's move on. I think we got like Mark Henry probably next, and then Goldberg. I think we're near the end. So, hey guys, Mark Henry going in. That was awesome. I'm excited about that. I've watched Mark Henry for some time. The Big Show inducted him. I thought that was great. Big Show told some stories, which was awesome. Which all the inductees do that. So I mean, but then you get to Mark Henry, and Mark goes off on something, and it's talking about Owen Hart, and that Owen Hart belongs here with these wrestlers, and I agree with that. I will 100% back that. Owen Hart belongs in the Hall of Fame. He talked directly to Martha in the camera. I thought it was a very good moment for Mark Henry. Very emotional. I mean, it brought a tear to my eye. He was crying. I don't think anyone wasn't. Which was great. Then he went on and talked about sexual chocolate. Yeah, you can't talk Mark Henry without talking about sexual chocolate, okay? And I thought that was great. Then he's like, "Hey, Stephanie, remember that time we danced?" That was just beautiful. I mean, that whole segment that he did there. Then he talked about, the different fractions he was with. About how a funny story is how he hung up on Vince McMahon, and Vince called him. I probably would have done the same. So, I mean, I don't blame him for that. So, I mean, pretty good inductee, and very good honor. I mean, Mark Henry deserved it. He deserves to be there. And congratulations, Mark Henry. Sexual chocolate, Mark Henry, woo! World's strongest man in the Hall of Fame. Salute to you. You deserve it. Catch you guys later. Oh, wait, we got more. We got Goldberg still to come. Stay tuned for that. And that was Goldberg. Paul Heyman came out, and anyone who knows me about wrestling know that I say Paul Heyman's the greatest promo guy, the greatest guy with a microphone in all of wrestling. And he comes out and does his thing. Even takes a shot at Roman Reigns. So kind of a little WrestleMania promo there too. But then he asked, everybody's probably wondering why I'm out here to induct Goldberg, and I really like what he said, because on a personal level, I can only wish to be half the father Goldberg is to his kid, and we as wrestling fans have seen Goldberg with not only his kid, but thousands and thousands of kids. He's one of the wrestlers that stops just to give a kid a high five in the front row. So, this is a wrestler I was waiting to be inducted into Hall of Fame, and I'm happy he is. You had the emotional stories from Goldberg. You had the moments where you wanted to cry, the moments where you laughed because of some of the stories, especially when he broke his hand. You had all this going on for one of the greatest wrestlers. You know, everybody talks about the streak in WrestleMania, but the streak before the WrestleMania for Undertaker, that was Goldberg. Goldberg had that streak in WCW. And, you know, he even made a joke about, I owe you one, Hogan, and I owe you one, Nash. So you had all these stories going, and I'm just happy that he's finally in the Hall of Fame. WWE, Vince McMahon, you did the right thing in inducting Bill Goldberg into the Hall of Fame. He even joked about his failed football career, so you can't do nothing about that. And being a Georgia Bulldog and an Atlanta Falcon in New Orleans. Hey, I'm just saying. So, Bill Goldberg, this is to you, buddy. Congratulations. You're in the Hall of Fame. It's a Big Bear. I'm not even going to do an outro. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you all later. That was the Hall of Fame. What a Hall of Fame ceremony. It was like top to bottom. Superstars. Any of these guys could have headlined this event. And I'm just glad that it started with the Dudley Boyz and ended with Goldberg. So, catch you all later. Peace.